G'day everybody and welcome to this presentation of the Capital Petanque Club Ostyn Gender Doubles final for men between Graham and Callum, father-son team, and Mark and Rick. This men's final played in October 2024 and looking forward to a good match-up between these two pairs that have played before a couple of times, I think, in finals, one way or another. Beautiful sunny day here, and the action begins with the Smiths having won the toss and in the ring. Playing downhill here at the Western Park Bulldrome in Yarralumla in Canberra, and playing on the shinier surface, the sandy, smoother surface than the other end, which is deeper and stonier. That's a bit long from Cal as an opener. Bit long, bit left. Rick now in the circle for his first throw. And that's a much better bull. That's pretty much right on the cosh. Great start from Rick. That may well bring Smitty to the circle to shoot. No, Callum's going to point. Oh, that's a much better looking bull from Callum. He's very close indeed. He's en bouchonnade, but with the Rick Bailey ball rather than with the cosh, rather than with the bouchon. But it's a resting toucher there on Rick's ball. That looks like a good one too, but is just wide right, I feel. Smitty now in the ring. Let's see what Graham can do. He's sort of promoted both of those front balls. So Rick's ball still holds. And that brings a shot, but looks to have been slightly long and slightly wide. Looks potentially to the right, which is maybe not surprising because his own bulls were on the left, so he probably wanted to make sure he didn't strike them, didn't knock them out of the way. Last bull now for Team Smith, and it's a good one, but it's just a little long. So, good start from Mark and Rick. They have 5 bulls now to add to their score, but as you can see, there's not a whole heap of room around the cosh. It's not as if it's a lay-down misère here. That's a good one. I'm not sure it counts. It's just a little bit wide to the right, but it's a good one. Another good one. They're probably both 2 rolls short, but it gives Mark something to aim for on the right-hand side there. So let's see if he can potentially promote Rick's bulls so that they count. That was a good one, but I think he's actually kicked out Rick's original bull that was holding. I think it's a 1 in, 1 out there.
Oh, we hold.
That one he certainly threw harder, looking to promote one of those front bulls. Again, he nudged what appeared to be one of the Smith's bulls, but I'm not sure who holds there. Looks like it could be just the 1 point. And that's confirmed now. But
how come you only give charity to them, Cooper?
Through from Mark has given the Smiths a good start. So I'm not sure anybody was expecting that after Mark and Rick had 5 bulls in hand. But as is often the way, an accidental push has given a point to the opposition. So 1-0 to Team Smith. Said father-son duo. Callum also a very good shooter, but in the pointing role today. Well, that's a much better point than Callum's first one in the earlier end, and he's pretty much straight at the cosh there and moved it. He's just behind the cosh now, 20 centimetres, 30 centimetres, something like that. Rick is wide right and slightly long with his first. That's slightly longer and slightly wider. But that looks like a very good shot indeed. He's come to rest on Callum's first bull and now holds, which of course makes it somewhat more perilous for the shooter because doesn't want to really knock out his partner's own bull. Let's see what Smitty can do here. Oh, superb shot. Absolutely superb shot. Managed to extricate Rick's bull and leave his own. That looks like a very good reply from Mark, however. Just checking to make sure it holds. The one sort of to the right of the cosh as opposed to the one that is behind. Callum just confirming for his father what the target is. And good hit again. Cleared out a few other things, but certainly the Smiths hold. 3 balls to 2 advantage to Graham and Callum. So Mark really needs to make this count again, which he does. Absolutely beautiful point. He's right on the cosh there, and I think that it would be very unlikely that Smitty could move that bull, get it out of the way, without moving the cosh. So as you can see, they're just starting to have a real think about who owns the bulls behind, what happens if the cosh moves, what's the best thing to do. Looks like the answer is point, based on the fact that Callum's going to have a go here. He pointed that quite hard. I think the idea was to give it a fairly firm point to see whether the cosh might spit forward towards the Smiths bulls, but he's been wide left. He's missed the target on both occasions there. 1 bull each, and Graham in the ring. That's a good one. That's gone wide and right. So it looks like Smitty's looking to try to potentially cover the back in case the cosh does move. I'm being charitable there, but perhaps maybe it was just a wayward attempt. But let's give him the benefit of the doubt. And now a chance for Mark to add to the tally, which he fails to do. I think he's just gone too long there. But a little bit of a replica of the first end, where there had some chances there for one team, but not able to capitalise. And in fact, The score is 1 each, both teams being able to pick up just the one. So third end, Rick throws the kosh sort of diagonally across the double piste. It looks to be about somewhere like 7 or 8 metres, something like that. Not long. I'd say 7 metres. Excellent start though. 6.5. I was pretty close, based on Graham's steps there. So Smitty going to try and knock it out. Let's have a look. Oh, just wide. You saw the kosh tremble. It needs to be remarked accordingly. Callum now to point.
Nice go.
It does a great job. Rests on Rick's ball. That's a lovely point. You can see again a nice arm extension and the fingers pointing towards the target, and comes to rest on Rick's ball and dislodges it to hold. So terrific play, Callum, really good. And he looks suitably happy with himself. How does Rick respond? Ooh, beautifully. That's a very good shot. Let's see if it has done enough. It picks up the kosh here, drags the kosh back to hold. Great shot from Rick. So the onus now on the Smiths again to respond. Let's see if Graham chooses to shoot. It looks likely, particularly given Callum is in second spot and would hold if that ball was dislodged. Well, the ball wasn't dislodged, but the kosh was. So the kosh is still in play, but it's moved back about 1.5 metres or 2 metres from its original position. Callum now needs to recalibrate, get past that nest, and does so beautifully. Past the original nest of bulls and comes to rest adjacent to the kosh. That's an absolutely lovely shot from Callum. Well played. That's pretty good from Rick too. Lovely straight line, but it's short.
That's the point now, I think, Mark.
So Mark has all 3 of his bulls. Callum and Graham have 2 each. Have 2 left. Unsurprisingly, perhaps Mark tries to dispatch it, but misses with that first shot. Now points and gets caught in the shrapnel, short of the kosh. And again, I'm pretty sure Mark won't be happy with that. I think he wanted to be closer to the kosh than that. So there's a little room here for Smitty. Not a lot, but there's a little bit of room if he can negotiate his way through the shrapnel. Goes aerial, and there's nothing there to hold you. So that ball has spun through to the keeper. That's gone past the kosh by some way. So the last ball. Let's see whether Callum can come to his own bull and add to their score.
Nice ball, Callum.
That looks good. I think it is good. Great play. Well, that's terrific pointing on that end from Callum. I think that's 2-2 Team Smith, which makes a 3-1 lead to Graham and Callum over Mark and Rick. Been a lovely day here for the Ostyn's Doubles, men's and women's comp. Capital Petanque's been holding this comp for some years. in an homage to Ivo and Donna Ostyn, who have been integral parts of our club here in Canberra for a long time, going back to starting the original club when it formed from a group that was called the Bulldogs, that then became the Capital Petanque Club. And Ivo's been and Donna have been key members of our club for a long time. So it's appropriate to play petanque in their honour. Great start. Callum is all over it now. From his first bull, which was pretty wayward, he's really been all over it, and that's a terrific start. So the pressure on Mark and Rick now. How do they respond? With a wayward shot, that one was short and to the right, and that's a better one. And they hold. Kosh kicked left, has to be remarked. And it's now quite a long way from Callum's hand to the Kosh. It looks like a good one. I think that may be enough. Graham looks pretty certain. That one looks a little bit left and may not hold. They're going to check. Rick's having a look. They agreed that they've done enough, and so now it's to Callum again to see whether he can get inside. It looks like there must be 50 centimetres or 60 centimetres or so. Plenty of room, and that's a good one. Got the length absolutely perfect. There's still probably 30 centimetres, perhaps a little bit more to the Kosh, but the length is perfection. Well played again, Callum. And Rick says, anything you can do, I can do better. Great shot there from Rick. And that brings them the position as holding, and means that it's up to Graham now to try to remove that ball. Hit the Kosh. That's one way to save an end. That looked like it could have been potentially a sticky situation for Graham and Callum, and knocking the Kosh out certainly solved that problem. And because both teams had bulls in hand, no score is recorded for that end. It's a dead end, and the players start again. That's a longer one. 8.5, nearly 9 metres from the Kosh. And young Callum to get us underway. 3-1 to Team Smith over Mark and Rick at this stage.
Nice goal.
Lovely start again from Callum. Really pointing very strongly. Well played. That's a good one from Rick too. I think if I had to put my money on it, I'd say it doesn't hold. It's probably it's in front and it's on the line potentially, but I don't think it holds. Rick's not sure. The boys congregate, put an end to the matter by getting the tape out. And it looks like Rick was right. He does hold. So with a good bull by the cosh to defend, Graham has no hesitation in taking to the ring to shoot. Let's see how he goes. Well, he was a fair way short of the bull, but he was straight and caught the top of the target bull and managed to push it out. So pretty good result for Graham, which brings Rick back to the ring. That one is decidedly short. Needs a little bit more oomph. That looks like a very good shot. It has gone past, and have a look, see if it holds. And they agree that it does hold, so that's a good response from Rick. And now it's up to Smitty to shoot again and dislodge the holding ball from Rick. And he does so. Bit of a casquette as he just hits the top of the target bull, but again it's enough to move it out of the way and means that again Callum's ball holds. So that means that it's Mark's turn to play. 3 balls on 3. That's a great shot from Mark. I think it might be just short though. Yep. That one looks a little bit long. So now looking for the Goldilocks ball. And that one seemed to take quite a dead bounce. A pretty disconsolate figure as he walks out of the circle. And that means that there is now a little chance here with 3 balls to come, and Graham and Callum holding, and Mark's closest bull, Mark and Rick's closest bull, probably a good 30 centimetres away from the cosh. I wonder if there's a chance here that they can add to their score. Well, there certainly is with that. That's an amazing shot. Deflects off one of the front bulls and comes straight to the cosh. So that is a lucky break. But means that the Smiths now, I think, hold 2. Callum's last ball on its way, and is a marvellous point, absolutely superb point. So they're piling on the pain here for Mark and Rick at the moment. That one looks a little wide from Graham. That looks like a tidy haul though for Graham and Callum, and indeed jumps them from 3 to 6. And they now take is what's quite a commanding lead, 6-1 in this men's final of the Ostyn Gender Doubles here in Canberra, brought to you by the Capital Petanque Club of Canberra from the Western Park Bulladrome in Yarralumla. Sunny Yarralumla. A longer end again, looks to be a good 9 metres or so, 8.5, 9 metres, and another good start from Callum. Well, when your pointer's pointing like this, you need something special. So let's see whether Mark and Rick can concoct something and start a fight back. There's a lot of pressure on you when the opposition pointer is so consistent. That's a good one from Rick though, and brings Smitty to the circle. He's just long there. He's just long, so that is that means he has to have another go, which he does. And he's shorter that time, and the ball bounces over. So the Team Smith really need a good one here to cover up the front and start to defend against the 5 bulls remaining by Rick and Mark. That's fairly close, but I don't think it holds. They're checking. Smitty thinks it's worth a measure. So it is sort of behind. It's not covering the front of the head, if you like. And unfortunately, for the Smiths, it doesn't hold. So that leaves Callum in the ring and 2 balls on 5. Little opening here for Mark and Rick to get back into this game. Well, as soon as I say that, that's an absolutely beautiful shot from Callum. Well played. They needed that. It's just behind the Kosh, but they hold. So now Rick takes up the cudgels for that team, and let's see whether he can beat that bull or perhaps try and push it out. Well, that again took a very lucky deflection, it seems to me, and comes to rest after hitting the front bull right on the Kosh. With only 1 bull against 4, Smitty has no choice really but to point. Let's see if he can cover up that front. And he does a great job there, I think. That's a beautiful shot.
The outside doesn't matter. The Kosh is good.
So it's now going to be quite difficult for Mark to add to the one that Rick has put there. Let's see what he can do. Pretty heavy point to clear things out of the way, and looks like he's been quite successful there. Sort of a demi shot, if you like. Not a full-on shot, but a good one. They might have a couple here, judging by the excited pointing. But 3 balls left and much more room now to point in because of that good shot from Mark. Don't think that one counts. Looks a little bit wide right. Two balls from Mark Cooper to come. Let's have a look. That looks like a good one. Maybe slightly left. And that's straight at it. Great shot there from Mark Cooper. So that's a great little fight back there to stop the rot in this game, in this men's final, from Mark and Rick. And they pick up 2 points to cut the score back to 6-3 in favour of Graham and Callum. But they're underway, so that's a important shift in the game. As I say, they've stopped the rot. So Rick throws the Kosh down the hill. Looks a longer one. Again, probably a good 9 metres or so. That's a good shot. It's in front. It's perhaps slightly shorter than he would have liked, but it's on the line, and that's a good one. There's still room for Callum to get past that and get to the Kosh, certainly, but Rick's bull is prominent. A good one here would put the pressure right back on Mark and Rick. Let's see. Just enough. Creeps past, that's all you have to do. Just be a little bit closer, and Callum's managed that. So Rick in the circle, pointing now. And he has promoted, ever so slightly, promoted Callum's bull. So that's not so useful. But now at least Rick's bull is also pushable and in a good front position. That looked to go left, bounced left and stayed left. They're checking to see if potentially it holds. Not easy to tell. And as Mark begins his walk back to the circle, stopping to fix a divot on the way, it's obvious that the Smiths still hold. Or held. That looks like a good one. I think that Mark has successfully promoted Rick's bull and brought it into play as the holding bull. So that means that it's now up to Callum to respond. Trying to pick a line. Do they go left of all of those bulls in the middle? And of course, neither Graham nor Callum are left-handers, which would have made that kind of shot on that left wing simpler. So they have to play down perhaps the more natural right-hand side.
Superb ball. Great shot.
Which Callum does absolutely perfectly. As straight as a die. That's an absolutely marvellous shot. Acknowledged by Graham, and a really good one. And now at 4 balls to 2, there is some considerable pressure on Mark and Rick to limit the damage or respond. That bull from Mark has caught all of those balls in the front and made it more difficult to get through. And that bull is... he's managed to punch one of Rick's through, or one of his own through, and now holds. So that's turned things around and now puts a little bit of pressure on Graham and Callum. They've got time and bulls to use to knock that out of the way. And that's a great shot. In one. Dispatched. Terrific play. That was a really good shot from Graham and Callum, or Graham specifically, and means that they now have an opportunity to potentially add to their score. What can Cal do? Been pointing so well in this game, so well. That one's caught the front bull. That looks like it could be one of Rick's, potentially. Not sure if that's enough to make it hold. Could do.
You're on this side?
And Graham just asking for confirmation about exactly what's what down at the head. And what to aim for and what to avoid. Smitty pointing. And he's pointed one through. It looks like it collected something. unlucky carry of a wrong ball kind of idea, and has pushed something through, but hasn't really changed the situation at the head. That has pushed a ball through.
Yeah.
That might be a couple now. They're just checking. And in fact, they've pushed their own balls through. That's a good result. Terrific result there. So that's very accurate pointing from Smitty, who is able to promote his own bulls out of that pack, and means that they now enjoy an 8-3 lead. So the little mini revival, mini fight back from Mark and Rick was short-lived, and now they face a steep hill to get back into this men's doubles final. Another longish end, about 9 metres, something like that.
Nice ball, Cal.
And that is no real problem to Callum, who continues his excellent form. So 8-3 up. This is probably quite an important end to see if Mark and Rick can start to rescue this situation before this game gets away from them. Lovely shot from Rick. Absolutely beautiful shot. Straight as a die. He's probably just behind the cosh, something like that. Brings Graham, unsurprisingly, to the ring. 8-3 up. And with Callum's good opening point to defend, well worth a shot or two. Well, the shot that Graham took on the last end was telling. Let's see if he can speedily dispatch Rick's opening point. He certainly can. Terrific shot. Absolutely beautiful shot. Straight arm back, straight arm forward and pointing again at the target, and direct hit on the full to the iron, as they say. And carrows. Terrific play, Graham. And of course that leaves Graham and Callum holding, and with 2 on the ground. That looks a good one from Rick, though. Is it enough to hold? He's having a look, just checking. Doesn't look that way. Judging by the fairly disconsolate walk back to the ring. Need a good one here. It is good, but it looks short. It's a lovely straight shot. So Mark now to take up the challenge. And that looks to have gone too far and through. And that's slightly wide. So Mark's just stopping himself from playing too quickly, I think. Getting out of the ring, trying to recalibrate. So there's some danger here, I think, for Mark and Rick. At 8-3 down, and with their last ball, which has gone sailing through. Now they look a little bit dispirited here, and Graham and Callum look like they are well poised.
Alright, shoot that one a bit out the way if that's the way you want to go.
With 4 balls to come, Mark and Rick are out. It looks good, but I think it might just be short. Three balls remaining. Can Callum get close to the cosh here? And one bounce left. As soon as it landed, you do get some funny kicks, even though it's quite a smooth surface. There's obviously preceding divots, and sometimes there's little waves in the earth and so on that just seem to push the ball to the left or the right if you catch it the wrong way. As well as, of course, there are some little stones and pebbles and things, so you don't always get a completely straight run. Great shot from Smitty. Great shot from Smitty. Another carro, or a peel at least, because he was able to dislodge Mark and Rick's closest bull. So this could be quite a good haul here. They could be in a position to win potentially. Having a good look now. Kosh must have moved slightly. And last bull. So this could potentially be enough. Oh, that's a good one. That is a beauty. That has come right, very close to the cosh indeed. I'll have to have a look. That's certainly two. That's three. Can they find two more? They need five. They found three. Now there's measuring. It must be pretty close. In fact, it's so close that they need to get the umpire. So we're on tenterhooks here as we work out whether this could be the winning bull or not. And the decision will rest with umpire Rob. Makes his way over. In red, in the uniform. Capital Petanque's latest nationally accredited petanque umpire. Congratulations, Rob. Great achievement and terrific for our club. It must be close, and they're having a look. And they found it. He's pointed pretty clearly and obviously, and it goes the way of the Smiths. So that gives them that 5th point and means that the final score here at the Ostyn Gender Doubles men's final is Graham and Callum 13, Mark and Rick 3. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed this coverage of our final, and see you on the piste.